Kareem, as always, Sandy Clough, Orlando Franklin, thank you very much for taking time for us on this Wednesday morning. Let's pick up on what we were talking about just now. You're not able to get on the field during this offseason. Hopefully training camp will open more or less on time, but you're not working on the field with these cornerbacks that you and Justin will be, in a sense, I suppose, supervising this year, looking to help out. I know you've played before with A.J. Bouye. You were a cornerback tandem in Houston together. But apart from that, are you concerned about the time or lack of time you'll have to spend during this offseason getting familiar with the cornerbacks and they're getting familiar with you?
It's a little concerning, obviously not getting a whole lot of time to spend with the guys on the field and us, getting on the same page and just trying to learn and see how, the guys that you're going to be out there are thinking when they see certain things, thank God that, these guys are veteran guys though. AJ Bouye is a veteran guy, played a ton of ball in this league. Bryce Callahan, who set out all of last year, he's a veteran, played a ton of ball. So, the thing with AJ, just learning the defense and finally getting out there. Bryce already knows the defense like the back of his hand, and we had a chance to had a little experience with him before this whole issue kind of came about. But it's a little concerning, but I think, once we kind of get out there and we're able to kind of run around and, just learn from each other and listen to each other and the way we see things and the way we think about it and learning the defense and with me, just expanding my knowledge of the defense and things like that. I think we'll kind of catch on pretty fast just because we have veteran guys.
Kareem, you were drafted in 2010 and the first-round pick, so obviously you get thrown to the wolves right away. But when you're a first-round pick, you get more reps and you get time in OTAs, minicamp, training camp. You're getting all those reps. And a lot of Bronco country right now is mad that the Broncos didn't go get some more cornerback help, especially with a guy like Bryce Callahan missing all last season, Duke Dawson not getting it done, Isaac Yiadom out there, and they try to give him the keys to the city. He doesn't take over, and then Bosby also getting hurt. I want you to speak on how hard is it going to be for a guy like O.J. Mudia, that's a third-round pick out of Iowa, to come in and pick up the scheme, and just tell us about your rookie year and how that worked, where you know that you're going to be the guy, you know that you're going to throw in that fire, and how did that process go?
For me, like you said, being drafted first round, the expectations are a little bit different. I came into a situation where they had just traded, or I think I'm not sure if he was free, if they traded Dante Robinson to the Atlanta Falcons. He might have been a free agent. He signed with the Atlanta Falcons, and I came into a room which pretty much all the corners were young, so I didn't have a whole lot of guys that could take me under their wing. My guy Glover Quinn was just in his second year. He's one of my best friends. He was a guy, that I looked to, that kind of took me under his wing and helped me out a lot. But at the same time, he was still trying to learn his way as well. So it's one of those things. You just gotta go out there and experience things, and you kind of learn on the run. It's a process. It's for me, my rookie year, I struggled. So it was all about growth and progression for me, and it's about learning the tools that you can use that's going to help you be successful and throw away the things that's, kind of putting you in bad situations out there. With our scheme, with the amount of veteran guys that we have that play a ton of ball, I think he'll be fine, stepping in and having Bryce and having AJ, and myself and Justin as well. We'll definitely be there to help him and guide him along the way. But for all of us, it's all about us just being one unit and helping each other out. I think at the cornerback position, I think we're fine. We had a ton of guys that can step in and play right away. I'm not really sure what we were supposed to do, what else we were supposed to go do at the cornerback spot. But I think we got the right guys in our room that can get the job done. But it's just all about everybody, us helping each other as a unit and bringing on the young guys, as much as we can and help them as much as we can.
How have these meetings gone so far? For those of us who are not all that savvy when it comes to technology, I'm sure you're way ahead of me and maybe even ahead of O in this regard. Tell us how these meetings have gone so far. You can't get on the practice field. You can't be with your teammates. But how have these meetings, in your view, gone up to this point?
For me, I think they've been going pretty good. Especially, with phase one, all you're really doing is just meeting anyway. You're not meeting, working out. Right. So for me, being able to stay put, and work out with with whoever I choose to work out with, I think, it's been great for me. I actually told him, I said, phase one should be like this every year.
Yeah.
O can tell you, man, that phase one is just working out and meeting. So
why am I here, Coach? Why am I here?
If I can work out with, my preferred trainer, the guy I've been training with, my entire career.
Right.
And just jump on a Zoom call for an hour and a half, and we still be able to get, meeting time done and install and all that is, I see you phase two, when we actually getting on the field and doing things. So it's actually been going pretty well. I was actually surprised by it, but it's been going pretty good.
Kareem, could you get into more in depth of as far as what's your routine now? Okay, we understand that you want to work out with your trainer and everybody feels more comfortable. For me, I wanted to stay in Toronto for phase one as well because it didn't make no sense because I felt like I wasn't working as hard as I would be with my trainer. But what is your day-to-day routine and who are you working out with? Are you getting some on the field work and how are you finding time to stay physically sharp? We know that you're going to stay mentally sharp with these Zoom meetings, but how are you finding a way to stay physically sharp right now?
Well, for me, I'm actually in Houston right now, and my routines, I get up 6:15, I work out 7:30. That way I'm back in time enough to jump on meetings. But I work out at a little private gym here. He kind of closed it off to the public. He kind of rotates us in one or two at a time. And so we get some direct work with him. It's been some great work. With everything that's been going on, I know a lot of gyms been closed, but I've been able to get, my same amount of work that I would usually get and I would normally get. And then on the weekends, I jump on the field with Aaron Glenn. I don't know if I'm sure you guys are familiar with Aaron Glenn.
Sure.
So Aaron Glenn is my neighbor, and he's done a lot for me in my career. When I first was drafted, obviously with him being playing in Houston, so he's based here in Houston. Like I say, he's been my neighbor now for 11 years, and going into my second year, he pulled me to the side and had a long meeting with him. And from there, he taught me how to watch film. So he's done, he's been, tremendous for me in my career. So now since everybody's just kind of not able to be in facilities, he's here. So, I jump on the field with him, on the weekends, get some DB work in, make sure my feet and stuff are staying sharp. But we got a pretty good group of guys that we kind of roll in one by one, or we go two at a time. And my guy Jonathan Joseph, I work out with him pretty much every day. But I've still been able to get, the work that I need that I would normally get if this thing wasn't even happening.
So you're saying you feel at least as good physically as you've ever felt at this point during the offseason? Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, like I say, my workout regimen hasn't changed. I know some guys may have just because they haven't had access to the gym, but I've had access to the gym ever since this thing has started. I've still been able to get in the gym. I've still been getting my hour and a half to 2 hours worth of work, weightlifting, conditioning. I've been able to get it all done. So I've been fortunate in that aspect because the guy that I've been training with, he like I say, he kind of shut the gym down to the public, but, just a couple guys still been able to come in. I know JJ works out there. I got a couple baseball guys that come in and out as well. But I mean, at this point, if none of this stuff would be going on, I'm in the best shape or where I should be, at this point in time in the off season.
Kareem, this year was unique, and there wasn't no baseball. The NBA wasn't going on. NHL wasn't going on as well. So everybody tuned into the draft. And I want you to talk me through, your draft experience this year. New team with the Broncos. You're hearing the ramblings of John Elway historically not taking Alabama guys, and the Broncos sitting there now, and Jerry Judy's there. And I know that you've watched Jerry Jeudy a time or two, because that's what we do in the NFL locker room. We're always betting on our college teams week to week, and we're watching those games. So what was going on right before the pick, and what was going on after, when you saw the Broncos took your guy from Alabama and Jerry Jeudy?
Well, I mean, obviously nothing else on TV, so this is actually the first year I've watched, just sit down and really paid attention to it. I usually just turn on whenever, my team get ready to pick, and then get into whatever else. Just sitting and watching, and I thought he would be the first receiver taken, but Oakland surprised me when they took Ruggs. And so from there, I was just like, well, it's looking like, we're going to have a chance to get him. And then I was just like, well, if he goes before Lamb, then we'll end up probably taking Lamb. But I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knew that, the need for us was, first and foremost, a receiver and to try to get some speed added. But, and once, I think, I can't remember who was before us. They ended up taking someone else, because I think San Fran was looking to take a receiver also, and they took somebody else, and
they took the nose tackle.
Right, and I was just like, man, we got to take him. So we ended up taking him, and just seeing that pick, and like I said, adding another Bama guy, man, I'm extremely excited. And having a chance to watch him throughout his career and the work he's put in, and I know how guys are built coming out of there, and and battle tested, that the guys are. I've been through I've been through the same things that Coach Saban's been putting those guys through. So I know he's conditioned. I know he'll come in and he'll be game ready, or it'll be. Just seeing how he picks up the offense. I'm sure he's smart. I'm sure he played in a pretty complex offensive system there. So just excited and to get to work and to have him, a part of the family.
Have you reached out to him? Has there been any conversations? If there has been, what have those conversations been like?
I don't have his. I didn't have his number. I sent him a DM, but I'm sure his inbox probably was flooded that day. But I'm sure I get a chance to see him and kind of connect with him once this thing kind of blows over, or whatever end up happening, or whenever we're able to go in. So it'll be good. It'll be great to have him in the locker room.
Before we let you run, you made some very candid statements last week about conditions needing to be 100% safe before you think that football could resume anything approaching normal activity. I want to give you a quote from Steelers coach Mike Tomlin, who is kind of speaking, it seems to me, in the same way that you are. And I want to know from you whether you agree or disagree with him when he says, I prescribe to the approach of competitive fairness within our game, and that is everybody gets an opportunity. Our game is extremely competitive. It's one of the things that make football at this level so attractive to our fans. I'm committed to preserving and protecting that, and so all teams getting an opportunity to start on the same footing is a core element of that, basically saying that all teams should begin using their facilities at the same time. Do you agree with him, or do you think making a big deal about things like this when teams can get into their facilities is counterproductive, that he's making too big a deal of that?
I don't think with him saying that is not a big deal. But the thing about it is I don't think that'll happen, because things may be, okay in certain areas before they are in other areas.
Right.
So
that's what he's saying.
With us missing, with us missing so much time now, it'll be hard for that to happen, for everybody to start on this at the same time. I'm sure these virtual meetings at some point are going to be over. I'm sure the coaches, GMs, owners, everybody going to want to get in the facility in the building as soon as possible. So it's one thing to just, talk about how competitive and the competitive nature with all the guys. I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, just realistically saying, I don't think, everybody being in the same building will happen. I mean, getting the building at the same time will happen. Things may clear up here in Houston a little faster than things may clear up in Denver or in Pittsburgh or wherever else. I mean, we got to be able to, go back to work whenever, it's approved and whenever it's safe enough for us to, to get out there and back into the world and do things. So, I mean, it's one thing to say that, but realistically, I don't think that'll happen.
Hey, Kareem, before we let you go, I just, yesterday we were texting, going back and forth. Originally you said you wanted to come on at 11:30 our time, 12:30 your time. And then you said, oh man, I forgot I got to do my show. And you do this awesome thing. It's called KJack TV. For those listeners that are out there, haven't checked it out, you got to tune in and check it out. But where did the idea come from? I know you interview your teammates and you get questions for them. Where did the idea come from and when did it get started?
It started about 4 years ago, and it was just something that they kind of came with, idea here in Houston, and they just wanted to do a player reporter, and it's basically just kind of interviewing and asking the your fellow teammates, just different questions, and it was just something where just was trying to show the fans, a different side of the guys, their different personalities, so we can see them not just as football players, can just see us as regular people as well, because we have a different side of us other than, this competitive side, just these guys that play football. So it was just something to try to show the other personalities of the guys. And from there, it just kind of started to grow. I think I did it 1 year and then all the fans loved it. So I actually kind of gave it a name and I started calling it KJack TV, and it went from there to, we just started to do it every other week. And then it just kind of took off. And then, the last 2 years before I actually got to Denver, and then we just kind of started to do so much more with it as far as the production side of it, and it's been great, for the locker room, and then obviously bringing it here to Denver, I mean, it's just all about, letting the fans see another side of these guys and their personalities, and also to kind of learn about them in the process. So, I mean, me getting a chance to do that, it's just been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for spending all this time with us today, Kareem. Go do your show. We look forward to it. I wasn't aware of it until Orlando brought it up, but I'll be hooking in, and we wish you the best. Hope all is well with you in all areas of your life, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. I'm just working out and doing virtual meetings. I ain't doing nothing else after that other than get drugged around by these babies, man. So anytime you guys need, man.
I tell you this real quick because I know you're in the same boat as me. You got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. I had to tell my son yesterday, Kareem, that I don't negotiate with terrorists. I looked my son in his face, and that's what I told him yesterday, because literally he's looking at me telling me, I want a fruit snack. I want fruit snacks right now. So I was like, listen, I don't negotiate with terrorists.
Man, getting drugged around by, if I could split myself in half, I let one of them take one half and the other take the other half. It's as soon as the workout's over and these meetings over, I want to go outside. I want to jump on a trampoline. I want to ride bikes. I want to do this. I'm like, listen, can I please just lay down for a second? I'm tired. So, that's just what it's been pretty much ever since this quarantine thing started. So, it's great talking to you guys. I hope you guys are all safe out there.
All right, dude. Have a great week.
Appreciate it. There he goes, Kareem Jackson, who has been wonderful for us. I know, you've established a close friendship with him, but he is as smart and as analytical a football player as I can remember talking to in years, if not decades. He's been great. He's been on several times with us already. And you want a perspective and insight on what's going on in the world of a major professional athlete right now. He just gave it to you over the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Love having him on. He carries himself really well. He does a really good job in articulating himself, but he gives some really good insight as well. And just love having him on. I think he kills it every time. I think that might have been our third time having him, and I'm
Gets better
already
every
looking
time.
for. I'm already looking forward to the next time. Does a
Absolutely.
really good job.